So good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I see that Del Marie is here. Hi, Del Marie. How is Northern California today? We had a stunner of a day today. I don't know if you got to go outside at all, Ingrid. It was gorgeous, like perfect weather.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was nice. It was very nice. We're doing the Maryland thing where we're going to go from uh the heart of the summer to absolutely frigid.
Right.
There's not going to be that deep uh, oh well, that's Maryland for you. Um, so this evening, Ingrid is has agreed to spend Tuesday evenings for the next 5 weeks for us to work together on the Forest for the Trees pattern. It is, if you're just here to follow along and watch, that's awesome. If you would, after this, think, oh, I can do this because there is a Y seam, and I think people might be hesitant about a Y seam, but we're going to show you how easy and actually how uh, uncomplicated it is when doing hi buddy when doing it with FPP. It actually helps stabilize the whole thing. But the pattern is available on my website if you are interested as we're going along and doing this. But I'm going to be very like this is the first time you've ever done FPP kind of mode. So I'm going to go over all the pieces. I'm going to go over cutting fabric. I'm going to go over putting pieces of a pattern together because some of the pieces of this pattern are across 2 pages. So I'm going to be really instructional about how tonight goes, and go through probably one tree over the next couple of hours. And Ingrid will be chasing animals.
Sorry.
No, are you kidding? That's my day every day. Uh, but I'm excited for Ingrid to be able to show you her brainchild this of what she's going to be doing. This is the best part of when you write a pattern and it gets into somebody's hands. You have no control over what they're going to do with the pattern. And it's so exciting to see what comes up to people's brains of how they want to like work up what you've put on paper. Okay, so without further ado, Ingrid, what you gonna use?
Okay. So should I? Okay. So here's the picture. So I'll just go around and show
Yeah.
the colors I'm using. And I'm sorry, George was chewing at something.
Oh.
So I'm gonna use. So I'm using this palette from Rob Appel's line. Um, my my friend Rob. So this purple, I'm going to use every place where you see the white or the gray, whatever that color is. So around the outside here, where you see the beige-ish color, that's going to be black. And then the tree trunk, yeah, the trunk is going to be this pinkish purplish color.
Mauve thing? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the bottom row of tree is going to be this red. The middle part of the tree is going to be the orange. And then the top part of the tree is going to be this lime green. I feel like I'm doing a good job holding these up.
It's perfect.
And then this, where it makes this square here, is going to be this yellow, and in in my brain, I see that as the sun in between all of the treetops. And the reason for all the different colors, it's my New England fall tree, even though pine trees don't change color. But in my world, everything is multicolored.
If you've seen Ingrid's little hooter and the psychedelic, she's definitely got a
Don't be
theme going
talking
on.
about my little hooter. Sorry.
Oh, but you'll be able to put little hootie tootie tootie next to your psychedelic trees, and I think it's going to be so cool because they're going to look like they're like just ablaze with colors. I don't like forest fires, so I don't want to have I don't want to invoke that, but like
No.
it's just going to be like just washed in sunlight with the center being the sun. I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say hi to Philip is here. Hello, Philippa and Sylvia. And Debbie is here from Southern California. So we've got a Northern Californianer and a Southern Californian.
Yeah.
Californian? Californian. Yeah, there we go. Yay. Welcome, everybody.
Hi, Philippa. Did you already say hi to her?
I did. Yes, I
Oh,
did.
I might have been digging something out of George's mouth at that time.
All right. So Ingrid is going to be prepping fabrics, and I will talk a little bit about fabric prep. A couple of ways to tackle fabric prep when you're doing FPP, but I'm also going to talk about getting the pattern ready. And so again, it's going to be pretty instructional for tonight's first go round. I'm working to have 6 trees done each week, so that in the last week we're just putting all of the pieces together, all of the blocks together in the diagonal, because kind of on point. So that is the goal. Tonight's going to be instructional. Next week will be if there are questions or if I think of like a hint or a tip or a trick. And Ingrid, as we're going through it, anytime that you have a way that you do something that works for you. Did one of the cats just
No, that was George.
um so yeah, jump in if you have like a hint or a tip. Or Ingrid was one of my 4 testers for this pattern, so she's kind of worked through doing this Y seam already, so she'll be able to give us her ideas of how she felt about doing that process. But um we'll go ahead and get started on like the instructional piece of it.
Yeah,
So
I have to say I was a little bit reluctant on the Y seams, but uh, having the paper as the foundation really made it so easy to line everything up.
that's
So
awesome.
it was easier than if you're just doing a Y seam without papers as a foundation.
Yeah, which is kind of cool because people are nervous about FPP to begin with, and then they're nervous about Y seams. And
Yeah.
then it's actually the foundation is what makes the Y seam a little less scary because it was easier to manipulate the getting it right at where you need it to join. It's
Yes.
pretty cool. All right. So you'll at when you get an FPP pattern, you will have, if you order the paper, you might have the pattern already printed. If you do it in a PDF, you'll have to print out the pattern pieces. I printed my pattern pieces out on newsprint because I have it, because I'm cuckoo and do FPP all the time. So I have newsprint. It just makes it easier for me because this is what I'm doing all the time. You don't need to have special paper to print out your patterns and from PDF, or make a copy of the patterns you have and then reprint them or anything. You definitely don't want to use like resume quality paper, like it's thicker. I don't know anything about the weights of paper, but you definitely don't want to use like resume style paper. That's way too thick and
The
it's just
cheap
going to be,
stuff. You want the
yeah,
cheap copy paste.
yes, like the staples all the way down at the bottom, what they're
Yeah,
trying to not have people buy because it's so inexpensive. That's the stuff you want to use
yeah,
for your FPP patterns because you want it to rip as easily as possible. So because I do so much, I do it on this newsprint. You don't have to have special newsprint to print them off. When I print them out, I do because I print a lot of these, I will do it on draft or whatever like your like low grade print is, so that you're not running through printer like the toner or the ink or whatever, depending on what kind of printer you're using. You're not running through that so quickly. It doesn't have to be the best, print, so crisp and all that kind of stuff. You're going to tear all this out and it's going to get tossed. So you don't have to be doing the finest work on these pieces of paper. I can see George walking out. There's no telling what he's getting into back there.
yeah. So Philippa is asking, what about Larry Llama? And so for those who don't know, this was Larry Llama. This was the tester that I did for Shannon.
Look at him right in the middle. So sweet.
Love him. So, Philippa, those two blocks that I made, those were going to end up being a bag. So they are going to get made into a Shannon Beach bag.
Ah, that's so cool. Oh, that's good. Yay.
Yeah.
I think I missed some folks saying hello too. So let's see. Jen is here. Hello. Janice. And Pink E, which I'm pretty sure is Elsa. Pink E. If I'm wrong, let me know.
She's from Alberta.
Alberta. Sylvia's in Alaska, so there's no telling how chilly it is out there. I don't
Very
know how. Talk about going from summer to winter. I'm gonna bet it's a flip of the switch in Alaska from one extreme to the other.
I've never been to Alaska, but I would love to go.
Yes. Okay, so back to the pattern pieces. When I'm getting ready to sew the pattern pieces, I always leave this extra bit of paper around. So this is the solid, darker, thicker line. These are your sew lines where you're either sewing fabric to fabric or you're sewing section to section to build your block. The thinner line is your seam allowance so that you have enough fabric so that you can join those sections together. You want to make sure that you have that amount. When I'm cutting the papers out, I always leave a little bit of extra paper because sewing through the paper can kind of warp the paper. It's not a huge thing. Like you don't have to like be worried about that or scared about it. But it can change the paper. If you use magic juice, which I do, I use magic juice on my FPP just like I do on my traditional piecing. That can kind of warp the paper. So you just want to make sure that you have enough paper when you're trimming down to the 1/4 inch. And when you're trimming down, you are going to line up your 1/4 inch on the outside thick sew lines. And that way, and always use the same ruler. That's another thing because the rulers, their 1/4 inch lines could be thicker, could be thinner. And if you're switching from one ruler to the other, your 1/4 inch may not be the same 1/4 inch across the rulers, which when you're trying to, well, the great part about FPP is the precision. And when you're trying to be as precise as possible, even like little eighths of an inch nudge one way or the other, lining up those seams can start stacking up when you're doing the FPP. So ensuring that your quarter inch is the same quarter inch all the way across helps with that a lot. So that's just a record. You know how they say don't, like, if you're going to start a project on one machine, finish that project on that same machine, because all machines are different. It's the same way with the rulers, I think. At least I've found that I've been like, oh, that's not the same quarter inch. So um so I keep that extra bit, kind of, keep making room for the Holy Spirit, or however you said it in Catholic school. um do that with all of my pieces. In for the forest for the trees, there are the larger pieces are across two pieces of paper. One I've already cut out and pieced together with just a little bit of I was going to call it wasabi, and it's not wasabi tape, it's
What?
washi tape. But hey, wasabi tape.
I want some of that.
Right.
How do I
So,
not have that tool?
well, now I'm gonna need to, like, there's got to be like sushi washi tape out there that has like wasabi on it. I need to find that. Yay, it was right. Kiki is Elsa, and Sylvia says it's a warm 60 degrees. Nice.
That sounds nice.
Um, so I'm going to show how to trim up the second piece, but the washi tape is really nice because it's easy to sew through. I don't have it where it's on the sew lines, but if you needed to do that, it's easy to sew through. It doesn't gum up your needles. And it's easy to peel up and move if you make a boo-boo. So I've got it on the front and the back of this piece. I'm going to show you how I do the piecing the pieces together. In the pattern, B2 of this one is going to be what is joined. So this one bit of B2 needs to be joined here across the two pages. So again, I'm going to just keep a little bit of paper on the outside of the line.
Hi, Jeannie.
Hey, Jeannie. Just like that. And then you're going to, what's that?
Philippa says that she's so boring. She's using the same fabric, trees that look like trees. It's just like, but it's like your owl. The owl looks like a natural owl. My idea of nature is just quite different.
Nature on shrooms. That's all.
Nature on shrooms. Yeah.
So when you have both of your pieces out of the paper, you're going to pick one of your sections, and it doesn't matter which one. I never choose the same one. It doesn't matter, but there's a line that goes across the piece. Let me first make sure my blade's closed before I hurt myself. You can see there's this little dotted line that goes across. So you want to cut to that dotted line, but you only want to cut to that dotted line on one of the pieces, because that's where you're going to overlap and then tape these together. And if you cut them both, then you don't have any stability. Like, you can still line them up, you'll butt them right up to each other and everything, but keeping that little bit extra paper underneath just gives it a little more stability. That's all. And it makes it easier to line up too. So I'm just going to do it on the shorter side. Again, it doesn't matter which one, just only one. So trim that little bit off. And then I will line up so that the sew lines are as straight as possible. I mean, it works out so that they're pretty straight because it's just the patterns following across the 2 pages, but you don't have to like sit there for half an hour fighting to make sure it's precise to the millimeter. Although I totally would, so there's that. But and then you just put your tape down on one side, and I always add the washi tape to the back too, again for added stability. But if you're comfortable with just one piece, just do one piece. But that's it. That's as easy as it is. You just line up. So whatever one side you've chosen to be the one you cut is going to be the one that's going to, oh, I keep backing out the wrong way, is going to be the one you put on top of the paper. And then you just tape it on, and then that's your completed little section. And now we can start sewing.
I'm so glad that you said that, because every time that I have had to cut pieces, I don't cut them to the line on either one. And then I'm, trying to pick it up and figure out where the line is. So now I feel like I'm a dummy. You cut one, and obviously you just line up the top with the line.
Well, but if you've never had somebody say that to you, how are you supposed to know?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like it should be common sense.
No, I don't take any of it for granted. I'm sure there's plenty I do that people are like, what in this world is she doing? Okay, so now then you have all your pieces, they're all taped together, and we're ready to go. So some folks like to pre-cut their fabrics. With this pattern, you can absolutely do that because you're having, like 24, is it 24 trees? I can't remember now off the top of my head. I was counting blocks in the 17, 18, and now I can't remember.
What'd you say?
There's a number of blocks. Oh yeah, 60 for 4 weeks, 24. Yes, 24 trees. Boom. So when you measure these, you'll be able to just bulk cut them, because these pieces are all the same across the 24 trees, which is kind of nice. Or if you are an FPPer that likes to cut as you go, then you don't have to worry about this part. But for folks that like to get all of their fabrics done and out of the way, like as soon as possible, you can measure and cut just uniform shaped pieces. So you can measure and cut rectangles instead of trying to cut out these trapezoids. Hey, I remember geometry. So you don't have to cut the trapezoids out. You can just measure from the longest point for like E2, it is about 4.5 inches, and then I would add an inch for to make sure I have my seam allowance taken care of, which is a 1/4 inch, but then also some extra wiggle room just in case maybe like the shape goes a little bit wonky. So I would do a 5.5 inch long by, let's see, it's about an inch and a half, an inch and 3/4 tall. So
can I show you what I did?
Yeah, of course. But so For that,
Fine.
you would do 5.5 inch by 3.5 inch rectangle. And then you could do that for if you're using solids or batiks where sides don't matter, right side or wrong side, um, because these pieces are opposites of each other. So your trapezoids aren't going to matter because they're the same on both sides of them. But when we get to cutting, if you just wing it in FPP, these portions will matter to make sure that your angle is going the right way. For I don't know what I would call that, the sloped piece. I don't think there's a geometry term for that piece. But if you're just cutting a rectangle, then it's not going to matter because you'll be able to line it up as a rectangle. So there you go. Okay, so what were you doing for your?
George is piece by piece bringing in his toys.
He's hoping one will convince you to stop what you're doing and play with him.
So I just cut out a bunch of, I don't know, what is this? These are just 3-inch strips. And I use, so C1 is just, it's got the angle there. So
Yep.
that's all I did. I just cut out a bunch of 3-inch strips and eyeballed it to see how many I would need. And
Nice.
as you can see, I cut one too many. But that's all right because I'm going to be making more with this fabric
Oh yeah.
with Larry Llama.
Larry fabric.
Yeah.
Sylvia asked, does your seam magic juice just wash out at finish? Um, well, yeah, I guess so. It doesn't, you're basically ironing it away, like you're drying it. It's basically just like a starch alternative. So it's the same stuff that you would use like if you were using what's that? The nice smelling spray, like the flatter or the easy press.
Yeah.
But it's just in the pen, so it's like in a concentrated little line. So yeah, I've never really thought about it still being there since I ironed the bejeebies out of it. But I guess yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll wash
And
out.
you're just using it on the seam as
Yep.
well, not on the entire quilt. But yeah, it
Yeah.
would wash out easily. It
Yeah.
doesn't hurt the fabric.
No. No. Though if you do starch, or if you're an easy not easy, if you use flatter, if you use um any other like starchy thing, like anything, um you might want to test if there's an interaction between the magic juice and the starched fabric, because sometimes it can kind of like leave it washes out in the end. But if you're just doing like a wall hanging, people don't necessarily wash that, so it could like leave a hazy film kind of thing, which I found out from someone else did it, and they used a starch from Walmart. I don't know, Stay Flow or something like that, and the magic juice left, and then they were using the magic juice on top of the fabric on the seam, and so it left like a haze. But I've never had an issue using Sue Ellen's stuff and the magic juice. I haven't had a problem using that. I
Yeah, me
That's the
neither.
only one I've heard of.
Interesting.
Del Marie says a little trick for the A block. You can cut 6-inch square and cut diagonally for the large triangle. A4, then cut a 2.5 square and cut diagonally for the two small. Oh, for here. Yes, that's exactly right. Yep. Because you're going to be doing 24, which means you're going to have evens. So yeah, if you cut 12 of those squares and just cut all those squares in half, you'll have all your A4 pieces done. And you could do a 3.5 inch square, or if you wanted to cut the square in fourths, probably be what, I wouldn't go smaller than I would have, before I say anything out loud, I would have to test it out. I'm not sure. I usually only cut the squares in half, so 3.5 inch is perfect. But if I was going to do it in fours, which would kind of make it even easier, I would think nothing smaller than an 8-inch square, but I would have to test it out. So, but yeah, that's awesome, Delmarie. Thank you for that. Woo. So
That's a nice time saver.
yeah. Now, if you want to have the pieces, if you want to use your pattern pieces as almost a template, and cut your fabrics, bulk cut your fabrics in the right shape all at the same time, I can show you how I would do that too. So let me grab spruce. I'm also not a starcher, so I'll go through things where I'll pretend I'm going to become a starcher, and then I then don't. It doesn't stay around long. The urge to do it doesn't stick around very long.
So when I first got back into quilting, I was watching Kimberly that quarter shop.
Yep.
And I have all of these cans of spray starch. And my brother had got into the laundry room, opened up the cabinet, and saw a shelf of starch. Says, what do you have going on here?
What is happening?
That's why I hide my Christmas presents. Everybody gets starch.
Okay. So for Sylvia says all her stuff gets washed. There you go. Then yeah, it just washes right out. I have a Don't Panic card from Legit Kits, but we get these little postcard things, and like everything has one of these. So I just use them to fold my pattern pieces, and then I will be able to do like 4 at a time. I'm just gonna keep them lined up, and I'm gonna cut at least a 1/4 inch away from this fold line, because this is the seam allowance for joining the two fabrics together within the section. I'm actually going to go ahead and just do a 1/2 inch to be safe. And then all of these bits go in my Kona bin, because these will be used in some future Legit Kit or some future FPP process. Sorry. So I have that angle all set. I'll go ahead and, if you have a, what is it called? Oh my gosh, why are words not working?
Tuesday.
The turntable-y type of cutting mat. What the heck is it? A rotating a rotating cutting mat. You can just spin this around, but I don't have that, so I'm gonna then cut. I'm using solids, So all the stuff that I'm doing isn't going to matter. Right sides or wrong sides because uh, I'm using solids. So I don't have to worry about that, which is nice. So there we go. We have that and that. And if you're not ambidextrous, don't do this, but continue with your rotating cutting mat. Go on the other side.
Don't watch.
There we go. Make sure I've got it all the way through. There we go. I've got 4 pieces of the E2 F2. So already, just like that, have 2 blocks ready of spruce for the main piece. So you can do it that way too. And do it that way in bulk. And then really because you're using so like you have so much wiggle room because I did it a 1/2 inch all the way around, you could just use this one piece of fabric and then go back to spruce and do all of the ones that you need. So you need 2 per block. So 48. You'll need 48 of these pieces if I'm mathing correctly. 2 per block, 24 trees, 48 E2 F2s. There you go. And you can just use this as your like your base template and cut out all your spruce bits and have them all done. I want to get to sewing, so I'm just gonna go with these 4. I'm gonna fold my spruce back up nice and purdy.
Your spruce bit.
My spruce bit. And then
I'm sorry, I keep yawning.
long week, and it's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tink says words aren't working because Mercury is in retrograde.
Yeah.
That's funny. we have a group of friends from high school, junior high, and that we used to say that for everything. Anytime something wasn't going right, we were like, "Oh, it's because Mercury's in retrograde. We're good.
Yeah.
It'll be fine next week."
Does it only last a week?
I have no idea.
Oh.
It was a joke. I had no actual idea of any of that stuff. All right, now on to pesto. Again, I'm using solids, so I'm not worried about right side or wrong side, but with this shape, this trapezoid, because it's the same shape all the way across, even if you were using pattern, it would work right side and wrong side. So you'd be good to go.
Now I'm thinking about wanting to eat pesto.
I haven't had a good pesto in a while.
Need to go back up to the Amish market.
Oh, yum.
They have lots of good eats.
Yeah. Evan and Autumn were up there recently. and got like a bunch of pickles and oh, good stuff.
When Colleen came down to visit the last time, she got some pickles, and it was I think it was the day before she was leaving to go back home, but she said those were gone in no time.
Yes.
So she's looking forward to stocking up.
So good. Pickles and beets. Pickles and pickled beets.
Oh, yeah, their beets. Uh, well, they're not pickled beets.
The Harvard beets.
Huh?
The Harvard beets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those too. But I do like the jarred pickled beets.
Oh, right. Because we went when everybody was down here.
Yeah, the cheetah sucka
Yeah,
festivities, which we really need to do again.
we do.
Right. Spruce and pesto. So, depending on how you like to organize things, I would put my spruce and my pesto together for the blocks because I'm cutting 4 at a time. It's for 2 blocks. So, spruce and pesto, spruce and pesto. I ordered a bunch of fabric, so I'm working with like a lot of extra fabric hanging out. So don't think that you like it's not this much. I ordered more than necessary because I mean, because why not? If I'm ordering it, I might as well have a bunch of it.
Is there such thing as too much? Maybe.
I am a the more the merrier kind of gal.
Yeah, me too. You don't want to run out.
Yeah. There's always the potential you could think of something else to do with it.
Yep.
All right. Getting into longer pieces now. I'm gonna need a longer ruler.
So have you been looking at the Stitch in Heaven retreats to see which one you're going to go to?
I have, but I think it's gonna have to like I haven't seen one that I'm like supremely interested in yet. So
I
I'm
saw a I saw a cruise, a Stitch in Heaven cruise that was leaving like out of New Jersey or something.
yeah, there was a New England one. I think that one was sold out already.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I had looked at that one. I was like, oh, that would be cool.
That
But
would
I
be
think
cool
it's sold out.
if we could just drive there.
Yeah.
I think George is feeling better, picking up the cats again.
Did you want to let people know why George may not be feeling the best?
George was neutered yesterday.
George got the old snippy snippy.
Yes, he did, and he did very well. He was so funny when I picked him up yesterday. He was still quite groggy and his legs were all wobbly.
that's
And he does not
that's
have a
dangerous
phone
with the
on
size.
because what's that?
That's dangerous with his size.
Yeah, yeah. And I can't put a cone on him because he starts shaking like a leaf. He is afraid of the cone. So I just ordered him a I don't know what they call it. I don't know what the technical term is, but it's a dog onesie to put over him so that he doesn't uh start trying to lick himself.
That's so cute. I cannot wait to see it.
They had all different kinds and they had some really adorable ones that for small dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Probably because most larger dogs don't want to wear stuff like that. So, and I'm sure that I'll probably get it, and George will be like, "What the heck is going on here?"
What are you doing to me?
Yeah, George, George, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Yeah, it was funny because he's walking, like he was drunk. And outside of the vet, you've got to go downstairs. But
Oh,
I
yes.
walking. Um, you can either go down the stairs or you can walk all the way to the end of the building, which goes right flat to the parking lot. So I ended up doing that instead. I just walked all the way around with him.
Yeah.
If he fell down the stairs, he would have taken me with him.
Oh my gosh. Yes, he would have.
And the twins were with me. So they would have been no help. They would have just laughed.
They would have pointed and laughed. Yes. Yes. They aren't in the take pictures of your demise part yet.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah. If
Okay.
they had had their iPads or phones with them or anything, or if they knew the code to my phone, yeah.
Your brother would have gotten a video immediately.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So you got to be careful what you're doing around here. That was funny. So I had to drop him off early in the morning that morning, and I was up at 5 to, give George his calming medicine and, make sure it was a relaxed morning and nobody was rushed because I had to get him there around 7. And I got a text from my brother around 5:30 asking if everything was okay. Yeah, why? He says, because your lights are on. It's 5 in the morning. Uh, joys of living next door to your brother, right?
Yeah.
He's always looking out.
You tell him I was saying goodbye to my gentleman friend. Mind your business.
Right. Sorry. Somebody is in a mood tonight. He's been getting lots of extra treats.
Mm.
And he doesn't usually get treats. I know I'm horrible, but he has a sensitive stomach. So,
Both Lilu and Sadie are praise driven. So we've never been a big treat like household.
yeah, that's George too. I mean, he'll eat whatever you put in front of him, but um, he's definitely much more praise driven. Tell him he's a good boy. Ah, you're a good boy. Yes, you are. Sorry.
Oh,
My good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah. No, put your leg down. Started something.
he's guarding something.
No, I said I started something.
By saying.
Good boy, now he's just nudging my arm.
All right. Now, for the I was going to call it a stem. For the trunk, I'm just going to cut a strip of fabric. Just want to make sure.
Almost time. Less less than a month, right? Before we're in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yes. I'm so excited.
I know, I can't wait.
Anybody out there that hasn't been to a retreat and would potentially want to check that out, that retreat scene out, we're going to be Ingrid and I and Donna and Marianne and Kathleen and Denise, and I can't think of everybody's names right now, but we're all going to be back up in Pennsylvania, in Walnutport, Pennsylvania, at a retreat center called the Nut House.
Very fitting.
So fitting and so cute.
It is.
Adorable. You can get swag saying the Nut House, yeah. Even. And there are a couple of spots left. So you go to Together We Sew Retreats. You can go hang out with Stephanie's Stitches too. It's a good time. Not at the least in which, because Ingrid and I will be there.
It is. It's a blast. It's so laid back. Stephanie puts on a great retreat. Lots of fun. Lots of sewing.
Tons of sewing.
It's a very comfortable atmosphere. It's wonderful people. That was the Nut House 3 years ago. That was the first quilting retreat I had ever been to. It was and prior to that I had only been to a cross stitch retreat, and with that one it was just I had a hotel room, my own hotel room that I had gotten, and you just went to a convention center every day.
Yeah.
Um, so this was the first retreat where you stayed in a house with all of the people that you were on the retreat with. So it was a little unnerving to do for the first time. But I absolutely loved it. It was awesome.
You're forced to play nice.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Okay. Oh, retrograde is about 3.5 weeks long. All right, that's a long time. Um, Philippa says the "Don't Panic" card is taped to her head when she's working on Little Hooter. Yeah.
That's awesome.
She said she's being more adventurous with the fabric for the mystery quilt, and now totally freaked out. No, no, don't be freaked out.
Oh,
I'm so excited about your color choices.
Betty.
She said when her pup Luke had a little snipperoo, she made him little shorts.
Aw.
And Elsa said her boy wouldn't keep the clothes on. She tried her husband's undies put on backwards. So cute. Oh, it's an English Mastiff, so he needed big boy undies.
Oh, okay. Yes, that is a big boy. So, oh, speaking of that, I one of so I got George from a shelter, and so nobody knew really exactly what he was. They thought Great Dane because the mom looked much like a Great Dane. Um, and one of George's litter mates, there they got the DNA test done. So George is part Great Dane, part Mastiff, which is the two of those breeds make up 50% of a little over 50% of what he is, or 50 or 60. And then he is the other breeds were Boston Terrier, Basset Hound, Weimaraner,
Oh, I love Weimaraners.
and American Bulldog. So it's an interesting mix.
Ambitious little dog.
Yeah. So the American Bulldog, I'm not surprised by that because of uh, just the shape of his head. Kind of reminded me of the bulldoggy type heads.
Yeah.
He doesn't really. I mean, he's got the jowls of a Great Dane, but when you look at him at a certain angle, it reminds me of bulldog. And he's not. I mean, he's not small, but he's not uh, enormous like a Great Dane is. So he's a
Or the Mastiff.
he's a runty Great Dane. Yeah. Your Lilu is Mastiff, right?
Sadie.
Oh, Sadie. Yeah. How did I mess that up?
Old Sadie girl. Definitely some Mastiff, some Rottweiler, definitely, but lab, her tail is all lab tail. Um, yeah, she's such a good dog.
Also, that's adorable. Um, if you have any pictures, please post somewhere and tag Shannon. That's so
For
cute.
sure.
I will I mean I'm not sure if hi Julie. I'm not sure if he's even gonna let me put it on once I get it, but it'll be here tomorrow. Gotta love Amazon.
Yes, indeed. Oh, that was a mosquito. I got it. Snagged it right out of the air.
I had a cricket type thing in my house today.
A cricket type thing.
I don't know if it was a cricket or not, but it was or a grasshopper or something.
Something along those lines.
I don't know what it was, but it was hopping around while I was on a conference call, and I was like,
Of
"Woo!"
course, while you're on a call, so you couldn't necessarily do anything about it.
Right. Well, so tomorrow school starts for the boys.
Ooh.
So today they were both pretty hyped up and over here acting like hyenas.
Back to school.
It seems early. Is it always this early around here?
So when I went to school, well, Maryland, when I was going to school around here, we didn't start until after Labor Day.
Okay.
But
No, it's just because that's what it was like in Mass when back in the day.
way back in my day, when we walked to school uphill both ways in 6 feet of snow.
Yeah. Yeah, I shared a pair of shoes with my brother.
All right.
You ready to sew yet?
Yeah. Woo-hoo. There we go. So, one, two, three. Bit for the trunk. We'll be on our way. All right. I'm starting alphabetically with piece A. So
Is
we'll
that
have
the
the
trunk? Is that the square?
that's the square, yeah. The trunk and the squares that you cut into rectangles. Nope, into triangles.
The square
So
that you cut into a rectangle.
Um, I like to do the fold back the pieces bit to have it all scored because it makes lining up the fabrics easier to have it done ahead of time, not doing it, as I go, just get it out of the way. So I'll do that, score all these sides like that. Your first piece, if you're using, hey, Patrice.
Patrice!
Jeannie just asked, is there a breed he isn't? Australian Shepherd. I think it was the only one I didn't hear.
He's not part Dachshund
There you go.
or Chihuahua. Yeah, no, he's 6 different breeds.
Well, and that's if he shares the same father, because dogs and cats.
Oh, true. True.
Multiple suppliers.
Well, that's like Leo and Chewy, my other dogs, they were the same in the same litter. They looked completely different.
Yeah.
Leo looked more like a Great Dane and Chewy looked more like a lab. It was bizarre. And there was about 20, 25 pounds between the two of them, which
Yeah.
is a big difference as well.
All
Oh,
right.
the trees. How's everything going? Are you still working crazy? Miss you. I'm gonna be in Massachusetts in the middle of September, so I will give you a call when I'm there.
Patrice is a Nut House alum.
Yep, she was there that first year, that first fateful year when we all met.
And that first day, she was just the quiet woman in the back room who had to work.
Yeah, and the seat right to my right was her seat and it was empty. And I was worried, like, what if she's weird? What if she doesn't like me? I was so worried. And because I kept waiting for one more person to come in because I
Yeah.
realized that she was in the other room working. She had just started a new job. So she was doing like her orientation stuff. I wish you were going to, Patrice.
Yeah.
These years we're gonna get you back there. And Shannon and I were just talking about having another IRS
Yeah.
gathering. What did we say that was? That stood for Ingrid's
Retreat social. What was this?
what? Patrice, you think I turned out to be the weird one? Well, I guess that's what they say. There's always that one weird one in a group of friends, and if you don't know who it is, it's you. So I guess it's me. That's okay.
Love it.
I'm good with that.
And Patrice kept trying to convince us that she wasn't funny, and yet she had us rolling the entire weekend,
Oh my goodness.
dying.
And so much of it was the accent.
Very true.
Oh, cracked me up. Yes, Patrice, you are definitely funny. Your family that says you're not funny are liars.
I just jealous.
Yeah.
They could
Although,
never.
your kids will never say that you're funny.
That's true.
Ingrid Retreat Society.
Society.
I thought it was
Sanatorium.
yeah, or sanitarium.
Sanitarium. Is that what it is? Sanitarium? Sanatorium. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's only extroverted with weird people.
Well, you we were sat at a table full of weird people, so
Yeah.
the
Yeah. And I was right across from Donna. Donna
queen of
Reno
faces.
with her facial expressions. Holy cow. She was so funny.
Such a good time.
Yes, it was. It was. Looking forward to. So, yeah. So, Patrice says, yes, sanitarium. Similar to the nut house, but a different kind of nut. Oh. So Philippa is saying that this time last year that she was at her first Stephanie Stitches retreat at Cabana Island,
Oh,
dropping your child off at college too, right? In
yeah.
Canada, maybe? I was so
I feel
nervous.
like that's
Happy.
that's yeah. So like she did that and then came down.
Yeah, it's so funny looking back at everybody who says, "Oh, I was so nervous," but then it turned out wonderful. I hear that from so many people. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Patrice, yes. Donna's eyes. Donna's eyes tell a story.
Oh, what a
Very
rush.
expressive. I
I
wonder
had gone
if she'll drive her new car down.
oh yeah. I had gone to Millersburg. So that was the first Together We Sew retreat earlier that year. And I was crazy shy and crazy, like, so unsure of myself because it's the first one I'd gone to. It was right after the pandemic, like everything opened up and everything. I was just unsure if I was actually gonna like leave the house, if I was actually gonna do it.
Yeah, weren't you saying that you thought about not going?
Yeah, yeah. There was a moment as I was getting the last bag into the car. I was like, "Am I sure?" So I kind of feel like, well, not that, I mean, I had a really good time. It was a great time, obviously, because then I signed up for Pennsylvania, but right after it. But I feel like because I was so nervous and so scared and everything, that I didn't do it justice. Like I didn't give it the kind of chance that I should have. Like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
then by the time like we met in between those two things happening, and I, got to know people in the Together We Sew community. So by the time we got to Pennsylvania and then sat at that table and had those women with us at that table, it was life changing.
Yeah. And Marianne with
Oh,
those stories.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, great group of ladies.
And now we're on year 3.
I know it's hard to believe, isn't it?
And I get to teach something at this one? What?
Did you last year?
No. I helped with the when we were doing the boards, the ironing boards.
Oh, right.
Helped out with that.
Yeah, Marianne, the Philly New Yorker.
Okay, so there's A done. So and trimmed and ready to go.
There's a trunk.
There's a tree trunk. All right. And then I'm going to try to do this. I should be, because of the way these are just across like one piece, I should be able to, uh, like, what's it called?
Chain stitch.
Chain them all the way down. So that's the goal. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to chain these bad boys all the way across. Keep those up there because I'm going to need them. Keep this up there because I'll need that later. I did your just cut a strip. I did that for the maize color. That I'm just gonna like put with um so I have the shapes cut out of the greens, but for the whatever that shape is, like the wedge shape, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
do from a strip of the color.
You know what it's like? It's like the door thing that you stick in the door to keep the door
Oh
open.
yeah, the wedge. There we go. The door
Yeah,
wedge. It's a door wedge.
that is its official name.
There we go. I like it. Door wedge. All right. Spruce and spruce. Again, I'm using solid, so right side, wrong side doesn't matter so much to me. But I'm gonna line up the angles together. And then I can see, oh, I gotta bring it down. Here we go. I'm lining up the angles of the wedge with the angle of the trapezoid. And then I can see that I have the fabric all the way around well, so I know that I can sew at that angle and this weird shape will be covered when we flip and press the fabric over at the sew line. So let me sew this and I'll show you.
That is the best tip that I have heard in paper piecing was folding that over to get it lined up. I can't tell you how many times I've had to rip out seams.
right? Yeah, because when you start having the angles. Whew. Del Marie says she's so excited for Georgia. Yes, I can't wait
Me
to do that.
too. I can't wait.
Oh, good night, Patrice.
Good night, Patrice.
All right, so I'm gonna start chain piecing after this, but I want to show. So it looks like it shouldn't work, right? Like the paper's going this way and the fabric's going this way. But when after I flip it and press it on this side, I'll
What?
be totally covered. So because FPP is like upside down, backwards, and like wonky that way, it's those kinds of tricks. This, line it up and make sure that your fabric is covering the mirror image of it. It's that kind of stuff that helps reduce having to rip out. It reduces stress and anger. It'll make you far more likely to want to finish. That is not to say that I don't still make mistakes 3 years into this now. I still do. I'll be yammering, or I'll just, my brain will go for a walk and I won't be thinking about what I'm doing, and we'll make mistakes. It happens all the time. But those little tips and tricks help the whole process go a lot more smoothly. So that's what I really like about being able to do this on YouTube with everybody. Check this out for a segue. Being able to do this at something like your Bring Your Own FPP retreat on Saturday. Tickets now available on my website.
That was smooth.
Hey, look at that.
You're getting better at selling yourself, Shannon.
Oh my word, that was so cheesy.
That was awesome. Come join us on Saturday.
Oh, that was the worst, y'all. Oh my god. Oh, all right. Oh, lordy dordy.
Oh, Del Marisa, she's making L24 blocks.
Oh, yes. Oh, John Marie,
I am so excited to meet you in the flesh too.
Philippa, I'm telling you, the squishes that you're gonna get, and the squishes, and oh my lord, I cannot wait.
Del Marie, what fabric are you using? Philippa says, well done, Shannon.
The only thing that would have been better is if I'd had like a flashing sign thing.
Oh, you need a neon sign. The Slayers.
Not $1.99, not $59.99. Oh lordy dordy.
You need to get one of those things that will pop up on your screen.
Right. So there we go. So this is why I love the Easy Press pen, because as I've said before, I like to make sure my fabrics are very well acquainted with each other. They are basically Siamese twins now. I don't know if that's politically correct to use as a term. So I'll just say they are well acquainted. That's the terms I'll use. It's so flat using that magic juice. It's phenomenal. I love it so much. So then I'll go ahead and trim this, and then I'm just going to strip piece the rest of this, and get going.
Yeah, that magic juice, I learned about that from Stephanie, and
Yeah.
never looked back.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So happy to have found that.
It's really like a game changer for the precision of,
Yes.
especially with wanting to join things in FPP and knowing that they're so flat that it's going to meet up so nicely. Bit.
Yes. Why? Oh, why did I write green there?
Oh, yeah. So if you're doing like Ingrid is doing and not using the same fabric as I am, which is completely wonderful, but I did do the pattern with the colors that I used for my top. Go ahead, feel free. You just, whatever color you're substituting for maize, write that in. Whatever color you're substituting for spruce, write that in. That way, you know when you're picking them up what colors you're working. So you don't have to keep looking back at your color swatch, which you can do if you'd prefer. If you like hang your color swatch up, you could do that too. But you know, a little bit of prep time of getting your pages and your pieces written with the color, that is another way to do it too. I just definitely don't want you having to like flip back and like flip through pages to figure out what your colors are. That would
I think it
stress me.
makes it quicker.
Yeah. Del Marie says deciding between variegated green swirls with white blossom clover back. Oh my lord.
Oh, wow.
Haven't decided on the setting triangle color yet. Oh, Del Marie, I can't wait to see it. For sure. And anyone that's out there that also is joining in, please, if you're on Facebook, go and share your picture at Slay Arts, my Facebook page. That would be incredible. I would be very excited. Del Marie went ahead and glued fabric to the swatch. That's perfect. Then you always have the visual. No stress. All right, and there she is all trimmed. So now I'm into strip piecing. Oh, also for my patterns, you guys, if making the spruce piece one and the maize piece two, if that makes it easier for you, go ahead and do that. I tried to do it so that um you're you are nesting seams and stuff, so you're not like fighting with seams. But do what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Because as these are lining up, none of the seams are actually gonna meet. Now I'm thinking about it. Seams won't meet up, so you don't have to worry about that. Whatever. It's only two pieces of fabric on each one of these sections. Whichever one is easiest for you. Do that.
Elsa says that I have her thinking outside the box for color choices.
Yes.
All right, let's see it. I've always been like plain Jane, and I don't know what happened. I turned 50 and just,
Said to hell with plain Jane.
yep,
Yeah,
apparently,
I like it.
because I was always, I'm going to follow the pattern exactly how the pattern has said.
Yeah. Now you're making psychedelic owls and trees and
Yeah.
adding pockets to stuff just willy-nilly.
Oh, yeah, all willy-nilly. That's funny. Trading wheels are off.
Love it.
Freddie was over here licking my papers.
Just wants to make it really easy to get off.
Yeah. How's Arnie treating you?
What's that?
How's Arnie treating you?
Oh, I love Arnie. I thought you said army. I was like, when did I join the army? What are you talking about, woman? Arnie is an officer and a gentleman.
Yeah. It was like when I was talking to you earlier and you were just staring at me.
Oh my gosh. That was so and I came, you
So
were gone. And I was
uncomfortable.
like, where did she go?
That
I was
was
not
fair.
on that long that she needed to hang up on me or anything. My feed froze while we were talking, and when it came back, Ingrid wasn't in the room anymore, and it was only like like you were gone. I didn't think I would frozen that long. And she thought that I wasn't following what she was trying to tell me.
So I had to leave the room to go and get, you know, to demonstrate.
Oh, right. Okay.
I needed pictures.
To get it through my thick skull.
Well, you were just staring at me.
That's awesome.
That was hysterical.
Oh
And
my
then,
god.
I wish that well, that wouldn't have worked. But I was going to say, I wish that I was in the room to see your face when I wasn't here.
I came back on and I'm like, where the heck did she go? Like, I was like, hello? Hello?
Oh gosh. Oh dang it. I did that.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Oh, and Arnie is my sewing machine. I
Oh yeah.
named him Arnie.
After.
So one of my favorite movies is Terminator 2, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator. Again, come back. And in it, he's referred to as the only man that John can count on as a father and a man, a man in his life and all that sort of stuff. And even though he's a machine, he's going to take better care of John than any man has before. And Arnie takes care of me better than any man ever has.
That's so nice.
He counts on Arnie. Oh, Elsa say. Oh, did you say that Elsa's got you thinking outside the box for color choices too? Yes. Yeah, you did. Okay. Just
Yeah.
making sure I'm caught up. Sometimes the that chat thing goes by so fast that I don't know where I'm at anymore. Right. Jungle's next. Now I've got that song in my head. Welcome to the jungle.
Oh.
We got fun and games. All right. This is gonna be nice. Like stringing these, doing the chain piecing
Yeah.
and having the whole tree done at like one time is gonna be exciting.
Are you doing 6 at a time?
6 trees? No, just the one tree, but all of like both sides of the tree all at the same time.
Oh, I got you. Hi, George. Hi. What's going on? I just noticed that he has the longest eyelashes. They're very big. The light just hit it right. That's pretty long lashes.
Lucky boy.
Yeah. So for Slow Stitch Sunday, are you working on your wolf?
Yes. Yep. I will be working on that piece. I have worked on it some, getting pieces together, and then was working on it some um, when I was doing the, I don't know, whatever you call it, adult babysitting. I don't know what you call it.
Oh, you a personal I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Personal assistant, like maybe, I don't know. Hmm? Oh, it's called being an aide. Okay, it's called being an aide. I've been corrected.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. My mom and my sister both did that. My mom would do overnight at this woman's house. And
That's what my sister does. She does the overnights.
oh really?
Yeah, but she's like got certificate, like she's like a nurse thing. I don't
Oh,
have any of that. I've got 911 on speed dial. That's what I've got.
yeah.
All,
the woman, she likes to watch you do your sewing.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. She used to do a lot of things. She was a phenomenal artist,
Oh, that's right, you said that.
and she used to knit and she used to do all that kind of stuff. And now she can't really, and I don't know. I just feel awful, but she
Oh,
does enjoy.
don't feel bad because I'm sure that she just loves to watch you do it.
Yeah, she does enjoy sitting and watching what I'm up
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel bad. I mean, if she was sitting there like crying, then I would feel bad.
Right? Yeah,
But if she's enjoying watching you do it,
that is true.
because I mean, I can only imagine, but like if you get to the point where you can't do those things anymore, it's more frustrating than anything.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what she was saying, that she was just getting frustrated with not being able to get it um to the way she envisioned stuff in her head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. No, George. Need that onesie.
All right. So here we go. There's the chain O tree pieces.
Cool.
That's for block 2. All right. I'll just separate them. Get them ironed up, pressed out. But I think we all know that I iron, I don't actually press. I am still an aggressive ironer. I will say what I like about having the lighter color be fabric 1, I don't have to worry about making sure fabric 2, the darker color, isn't showing through the light color when I fold it over, because the
uh,
dark color's on top, so
yeah, that's a good point.
it doesn't matter.
Something to keep in mind when picking colors.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, if it's a piece like this that only has two, you could swap
Flip
out
the
one of the two, really.
Yep, absolutely. And being the snob that I am, at this point, if I don't agree with what the pattern writer has, I'll switch up the colors any way I want to. Nah, it's just you make it make sense for you.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's like the freezer paper.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the freezer paper,
Oh. Oh my Lord.
so it's been folded up on the side here now, so it definitely needs another pressing, but
Oh, that's beautiful, Shannon.
it's so pretty. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
That is so pretty.
I'm going to keep the edges all straight instead of doing a basting. I'm gonna do a half-inch finished border in black all the way around it, because they're all going to go in frames, for both
Oh,
myself and my mom. So that'll just help like keep it all aligned. So that's the plan. I don't have to worry about it
have your
basting.
frames picked out?
No, I don't. But they'll be an Amazon special.
Balloonist 2002.
Balloonist.
Who's that? Hi. Just wanted to check out the trees.
Oh yay!
And Elsa is very pretty. Mary H is very pretty. Phil
Thank you.
says, wow, Shannon, spectacular. And Del Marie says, pretty purple amethyst.
It's turning out so cool. Oh, this is recordings. Oh wait. No, this is
Mona.
Mona. Okay. I gotta find the book that I have all my names written in. This is
Oh,
recording
Philippa.
strategy.
Philippa knew. Hi, Mona.
I gotta find my name cheat sheet.
That's funny. I'm horrible with names.
Well, I just know how happy and excited it makes me feel when someone like remembers what my name is, and I want to be able to do that. So I need to go back through and read my list of names again, so I'm on top of it, baby. Ooh, I need to move my booty.
Mona, will you be in Georgia as well? She just said to Philippa, counting the months until we see each other again.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
why I asked.
We're gonna have a star-studded Georgia.
It's gonna be fun. I don't think I've ever been to Georgia before.
Um,
Have I?
there was a time I thought we were gonna move the kids and us to the Atlanta area.
Oh, no, she says no.
Uh,
Oh, so are you going to Australia?
well, that would be even cooler.
Yeah, it would. That would be cool. Oh, I wouldn't want to well, not that I wouldn't want to, but the flight does not sound very appealing. Yesterday, when I after I had picked George up from the vet, he crawled up into my lap
Oh,
on the on my office chair, and I'm not sure where he thought he was going,
oh,
but I think he was just uncomfortable.
yeah. Just needed you to make him feel better.
Yeah. Oh, Ohio. Okay. Yeah, I know. Well, Australia would be fun though, wouldn't it, Mona? Push, push, Uncle Boy.
Ohio's going to be fun too.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for the new retreat center.
Oh my lord.
That
Yeah.
looks just beautiful. And I love that it's going to be more space
Yeah.
and no ghosts. Although I didn't have any encounters.
Nope.
Ooh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, I'm tired. I keep yawning. Keep yawning. She will try.
Lauren's got a thing going on at work right now, and I had to have them down in DC at 5:30 this morning.
Oh yeah.
That's not cool, man.
It's a,
That's
so
not
I,
cool.
what do you say? You're a little sleepy?
Oh, I feel loopy
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm still an overprotective mommy, and I was like, I'm not letting you ride the metro that early. I'll drive you down there. Now, I would ride the metro that early, but I'm 5'8" and hefty. Lauren is 5'2". I will not be having my 5'2" little nothing daughter ride in a metro at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, Mama.
Not happening. But though now I think about it, I don't even know if the metro opens as early as they would need to get onto it to get there at 5:30. I don't know that the metro is open at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's quite early.
Yeah.
It doesn't run 24/7.
This is DC we're talking about. No. They have baseball, Major League Baseball down there. And if the game goes into overtime, sorry, y'all, you got to leave and get on the metro because it won't be open. A mess. A mess. But I will say, not having it open all night long, we do have really nice metro seats and stuff. And like, there's no like torn up things by crazy drunk people in the middle of the night or
Okay, that's
crazy, crazy high people or any of that stuff.
yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, DC is not a 24-hour town. I had friends who came down here to work from New York where like life doesn't start until 4 o'clock in the morning. They're like, everything's closed. Yeah, we suck.
That's funny. Boston was a bit in between that, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely not New York, but you're not leaving a Red Sox game early to catch.
Yeah, I can see that not going over well.
What's that?
I can see that not going over well with Boston fans.
Yeah. Not exactly sure what you mean by that, Shannon, but
Well, I mean, they're not as psycho as Philly fans, but
I can't wait to see one of these trees done.
I know I'm trying so hard to get. I'm trying not to mess up, but trying to get done so that I can get this together. But I don't know if I'm going to make it in time. I may have to do the instructional bit of putting them together next Tuesday. Like show that on video next Tuesday. Which is fine. Because being tired and trying to do things too fast is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. We don't need none of that.
Mm-mm.
That was very proper English of me, wasn't it?
I do really like the strip piecing them all together. Like having all of them done at the same time.
With the chain piecing.
The chain piecing. There we go, not strip piecing. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Kind of nice. Like
a delay in my brain.
but like you were saying, you could do all of the trees just chain pieced all the way to have them all done. That would be very satisfying.
Yeah, it was. Excited to be playing with Rob's fabric.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Alice in Class.
Yeah.
Yeah, Juicy Juice fabrics.
Yep. Which is awesome. It makes it perfect for um FPP and EPP.
Yep, yep, it does. And I think that the lines, the fabric lines, what the three of them would play very well together.
Yeah.
Depending on the colors. I'm not entirely sure, but I think they would.
All right. So I've got all of them for one block, almost all trimmed up here. I'm on my last piece of trimming. I will have the other five blocks done because I'm going to do 6 a week, or I'm working towards 6 a week because I have the 17-18 coverlet. I've got so much stuff going. On Thursday. So Thursday morning will be the next locks for the coverlet, but is also section A of the mystery quilt along, which I'm excited about because that's going to be the one that brings it all together. We
Cool.
just made the halfway points this past Thursday. This Thursday will be the last section and then piecing the sections together to create the block. And I have a little if you're feeling like doing extra credit, a challenge for everybody if they want to do it before the put it all together week, which is the final week of sashing and cornerstones. So that also comes out Thursday morning, 8 a.m. to your emails.
Very cool.
So that's a lot of stuff that's happening. So the goal is to get 6 blocks done a week. Next week, so we covered pattern prep, the paper type of paper to print on. We covered cutting out the sections. We covered cutting fabric in a couple of different ways. And then lining up your pieces so that you're angling your fabrics the correct way so you don't have to do any seam ripping. So we covered a lot of fun FPP basics this week. Next week will be more like putting it all together. And so I will have one ready to sew all of the sections together. And then we'll look at the Y seam next week. Woo! we'll tackle the dreaded Y seam next week, which again, seriously, you are going to be shocked at how much easier this Y seam is going to be because of the foundation of the paper. I was so excited about it. And I was excited to hear that it wasn't just me, that it worked for Ingrid, and it worked for Philippa, and it worked for Tamala, and it worked for Joanna. And I'm so excited that it was like, oh, okay, what was in my head was it works for everybody. Okay, good. So next week we will tackle the Y seam, and yeah, and then we'll just get these blocks done. The last week, which is November, September 17th, is we'll put all of the blocks together in the rows with the set-in triangles. So we'll talk about how to do that in the least painful way. And very Donna Jordan-esque. I love it when she does how she does her rows, and she talks about her rows. So that's what I always think of when I'm doing anything on point. I just think of her saying all of it. So that will be what we do on the 17th. So thank you, Ingrid, so much. I think we're both beyond tired. It's been a day for both of us. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you all being here, and thank you for about the amethyst piece. I'm excited about that. I think the end definitely justified the means. It was a lot of getting there, but we got there.
It's stunning. It's very stunning.
Worked out really well. So I hope to see you all in video on Thursday for the 1718 coverlet. Saturday, we have the second Bring Your Own FPP project retreat, and it's from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll have Philippa joining us, and there's still time to sign up for that as well. And then Sunday, you will get to see Ingrid again. We'll be doing Slow Stitch Sunday on my brunch, which is 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. So yeah, that's it. We got some stuff going on. Everybody have a very safe week, and I look forward to seeing you at those different times. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.